Let's get ready to rumble! What a performance that was!
Great viewers out there, it's time for Sportsville. My name is George Adlo. Nice to be back in the studio. Last week I was unavoidably absent. I was in Owerri, Imo State, where the Imo Sports Summit held, and it was nice seeing my colleagues fire on all cylinder. I was part of the show anyway from Owerri, but kudos to Tony Ubani, baby of the house, Oluchi Tobes Tobechukwu, for holding forth. I'm back now, and this is the second edition in the month of December. We are zeroing into Christmas. This is a blessed month, and we hope that everybody watching out there will be blessed this season of Christmas. Well, it's a loaded package as usual, I must tell you. The crisis in Nigerian sports has moved now from football to athletics. The usual crisis is normally coming from football, but this time the athletics family is boiling. So much to talk about in athletics today on the show. But talking about football, Rangers and Enyimba, they're on parade again. They had it bad last week when they started the group stage of the CAF Confederations Cup. Hope they get it right this time. Enyimba at home and Rangers away in Egypt. Will they be able to climb the pyramid this time out there in Egypt? All that on the show for you, but let's take this break. When we'll come back, then I introduce my guests. Don't go away. It is Sportsville.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they want to get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
All right, welcome back. If you've just joined us, you've not missed much. Let me now introduce my guest. Let me start from the baby of the house, Oluchi Tobes Tobechukwu. Oluchi, welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. It's good to have you back. This is the month of Christmas, you know, a wonderful new month, you know, to our viewers at home. I know they are looking forward to the best of time, this period of December.
And the woman is already shining. You can see that the month of Christmas is radiating in our baby of the house. On that note, let me welcome Tony. Welcome, Obani.
Yeah, thank you so much, George, and of course, welcome back to Lagos.
Thank you.
I remember the last time I saw you was in Owerri.
Exactly.
And of course, we were moving from place to place.
And off camera, you've been looking at Oluchi. She's looking radiant this month of Christmas.
Yeah, she has always looked good, and that's why, you know, she's between two lions.
Okay. All right, let's go straight to the show. Don't mind Tony Ubani. Let's start with the Onika Stadium renaming. I must tell you that it's a good one coming from the Lagos State government. The Onika Waterfront, which is looking very beautiful now, I must tell you, has now been renamed late Brigadier General Mobolaji Johnson Stadium Arena. That's a good one, recognizing somebody who served Lagos State in the past. Later, Mobolaji Johnson, the first military governor of Lagos State, now has Onika Stadium named after him. And not just a shambolic arena, a brand new arena, fantastic place to behold. And our good friend Moni Michel did a good job there. Fantastic pitch, I must tell you. By the time Onika Stadium is reopened, you know what we're talking about. From the stadium, let's tell you that Nigeria did well in badminton. Our only girl, Dorcas Adesoka, won the just concluded Zambian International Badminton Championship held in Lusaka. That's a good one that is coming from Nigerian badminton player. And from badminton, let's tell you that Nigeria rugby team, the Black Stallions, did not really do well in the Rugby 2020 African qualifiers, losing to Madagascar. And the coach of the team, talk about South African Branson Ware, said it is an eye-opener for Nigerian rugby team, and that the team would look to do better in subsequent games. Well, I think the game of rugby is equally doing well in Nigeria. They may have lost to Madagascar there, but there's a whole lot to improve on. Okay, well, from rugby now, let's come to athletics. Like we told you, there's so much crisis in athletics. Guso's camp, the Guso's faction have declared autonomy. They said they are now an autonomous body. They've appointed a director general to take charge of the federation, and they said they don't have any business with the sports ministry. But the sports ministry reacted quickly. The permanent secretary in the sports ministry said, hey, don't just go there. You can't be autonomous. That by Nigeria's constitution, all the federations, including football, basketball, everything is constitutionally under the sports ministry because they get appropriation from the federal government. A whole lot of crisis playing out there. Solomon Ogba has resigned. We'll talk about it on the show because we're not just going to look at it in passing. My colleagues will x-ray that. But by the time we'll come back, we'll now talk about it. Before then, we'll talk about our player scorecard after this break.
Refresh your confidence with the liquid filling of a Center Fresh gum. Center Fresh. Trust the freshness.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get the money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get the money, they wanna get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the player scorecard now, and let's start with the goalkeeping area, where Daniel Akpeye of Kaizer Chiefs had 3 games for his club, 70 minutes of action, and he conceded 4 goals. He's just 33 years of age. Then you talk about Maduka Okoye, the new kid on the block, 20 years for Fortuna Düsseldorf of Germany. 3 games he had, 70 minutes of action. He conceded 3 goals for his club. And then back home here we'll have Ikechukwu Ezenwa of Heartland. He has not been keeping for his club. He's 31 years of old. Other home-based goalkeepers like Arugo Monkey have taken over from him in troubled Heartland. Oluchi, this is our goalkeeping area.
Yes, it shows that a goalkeeper like Ikechukwu Ezenwa, his time is up in the Super Eagles, because most of people will argue that actually he isn't even the best in our domestic league, but to fulfill all righteousness for the slots for the home-based Eagles, I think he hasn't represented well. At least Fidelis Ilechukwu, he's been able to assess him, you know, and if at the end of the day he's not been keeping for Heartland, that means there is an issue somewhere. Daniel Akpeye, in spite of the heavy criticism he got at home here, he's been able to prove a point, you know, in his club down there in South Africa. 3 matches, 4 goals, not too bad. And for him he won, I think, MVP for the past months, and his club also, they have won. Kaizer Chiefs too, they've won the league. That shows the technical crew, they believe in him. He's trying to prove a point. He's fighting back. I like his mental strength, you know, he doesn't get down easily. And for Maduka Okoye, you know, 3 matches, 3 goals conceded. It's a great improvement. I know there was a time we had over 10 goals, or I think almost 20 that he considered.
So he's improving at the club level.
He's improving at his club level, and I know that Coach Genetro will want to give the 3rd slot a chance to any other goalkeeper.
Well, away from the goalkeeping area, let's now take you to the defense line. Let's start with Oluwasemilogo Ajayi, who plays his club football for West Brom, 26 years of age, 4 games he had for his club, 360 minutes of action. And then you have William Trostekong of Torino, Italy, 3 games, 270 minutes of action. He is 26 years. Then Chigozie Awaziem of Leganes, Spain, he has not been playing for his club. He's 22. And then Kenneth Josiah Omeru of same Leganes, 2 games he had for his club, 173 minutes of action. And Abdullahi Shehu of Turkey's club Bursaspor, he's 26 years, 4 games he had for his club, 360 minutes of action. Jamil Collins of who plays his club football in Germany, 25 years, 4 games he had for his club, 360 minutes of action. And then online now of Torino, Italy, 25 years, 3 games and 214 minutes of action. Our defenders, apart from Chigozie Awaziem, has been very busy for their clubs. Tony.
Yeah, Judge, I think it's a very good, it's a welcome thing for us. The defenders have been busy, and they've really been showing. If you look at the number of minutes they have, you know, played for each of their clubs, that also shows, you know, how important they are. You know, as in, except for Chigozie Awaziem. You see that somebody like Alai, and Jamilu Collins and also Abdullahi Shehu, they've really been very, very busy. And I think this is there is so much understanding. If you continue to play for your club, week in, week out, George, you get a lot of experience. Exactly. And indeed, when you bring it back to the national level, I think there is so much hope for us at the defense, because the defense is also the heart of the Super Eagles. If the defense is rock solid, that shows that they will not allow any goal. They will become impregnable, and that also will show that every other thing will be on attack. If the defense joins the attack and prevents goals, it shows that the team is very, very good.
Yeah, from the defense now we'll go to the midfield, and if you look at the midfield, Tony was talking about the heart of the team. For me, the midfield is really the engine room of the team, and our midfielders have been doing well for their respective clubs. Let's start with Ramon Olalemiko Aziz, 26 years of age. He's bouncing back with Grenada of Spain. 3 games he had for his club, 226 minutes of action. He did not actually find the net this time after scoring against Barcelona. Alex Iwobi, 23 years old, Everton of England, 3 games, 140 minutes of action. In fact, his coach now, Silva, has been sacked because Everton is not doing well at all. Joe Aribo of Glasgow Rangers, 23 years of age, 4 games he had for his club, 197 minutes of action, and he scored a goal. Wilfred Ndidi, 22, Leicester City. Leicester is doing very well. In fact, they are pushing to be in the top 4 in the EPL. 3 games he had for his club, 240 minutes of action. And then combative midfielder Onekaro Etebo of Stoke City, 24 years of age. He did not play for his club this time, but he scored goals in the other room, so to speak, because the wife just put to bed, and we say congratulations to Onekaro Etebo. Tony, why are you laughing? If you can't score on the pitch, you can score in the other room.
You said he's a combative midfielder. That shows his combativeness in and out of game. If he's playing for the club, he shows himself, and of course, when he's on break, he equally performs at home.
Okay, that's good. All our players are performing, whether they are performing on the field or they are performing at home. Well, from the midfield, let's take you to the forward line and tell you that Samuel Chukwu is 20 years of age, Villarreal of Spain, 4 games, 288 minutes of action. He scored a goal for his club. Samuel Carlo, 22 years of Bordeaux, France, 3 games, 172 minutes of action. And then Victor Osimhen, Lille, in very good form, 20 years of age, 5 games he had for his club, 385 minutes of action, 2 goals. In fact, Victor Osimhen is firing on all cylinders. And then Ahmed Musa, he is coming back from injury, 27 years of age. He is the prince of Saudi Arabia at the moment. 3 games he had for his club, 43 minutes of action. Peter Laika of Slava Prague of Czech Republic, 5 games for 433 minutes of action. And then Paul Onuachi, the one we nicknamed the new Yekini, after the goal he scored against Egypt in that friendly at Asaba. 25 years of age, he plays his club football for Ghent of Belgium. 6 games he had for his club, 277 minutes of action with a goal to his credit. That is the attack.
Yes, the forwards we have here, they've been able to garner quality minutes under their belt, and a cluster of goals here. Victor Osimhen has been very, very consistent. Samuel Chukwueze too, in the past week, was able to, the goal drought he had, he was able to score a goal. This is a player that most clubs, Liverpool, name it, they want him. It shows that we have a quality player. And then Paul, like you said, 6 matches. Even if it's tallied to 1 goal, that means the technical crew, they have so much belief in him, and they know that he can offer. With this set of players that we've reeled out, from the goalkeeping position to the forward position, and you see a Genetro that is still struggling, and he wants, as much as possible to continue this job so that his contract, will be extended. Shows that he knows the kind of potentials that he has, and I know that the Super Eagles can deliver.
Okay, good thing is that our players are in top form going into Christmas, and next year the Nations Cup qualifiers is on. It will resume next year. The World Cup qualifiers will equally start because the preliminaries have been completed, and we want to see a Super Eagles that will be solid in 2022. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll no longer be talking football, we'll be talking athletics, where the house of athletics is really on fire. I hope you're enjoying Sportsville.
You can now win smartphones and thousands of mobile recharge cards in the Center Fresh and Center Fruits Text and Win promo. Just buy Center Fresh or Center Fruits liquid filled gums. SMS code on the wrapper to 20050 and stand a chance to win every day. Offer from 1st of November to 31st of December. So keep texting, keep winning.
right, welcome to part 2 of the show where we're talking about athletics, and like you know, Nigeria Athletics Federation is really in crisis. We thought that now that Sunday Dare is in charge, that our football will know some peace. But interestingly, while we now have peace in football at the Glass House, AFN has become another house of commotion. And interestingly, after the board meeting of AFN in Oka, Anambra State, they came up with a resolution that they are now an autonomous body breaking away from the sports ministry. Or the sports ministry, through the permanent secretary, said, no, you cannot do that. A whole lot of crisis. Oluchi.
Yes, it's quite a shame. Internal wranglings. The AFN, they have two factions now. It just isn't between, the Gusau faction with the ministry. Even within themselves, they do not even trust themselves.
No, the Olamide George faction is recognized by the ministry now. They've gone to pay homage to the permanent secretary. The Gusau faction are on their own. They said they are now autonomous. So I can't understand it.
When people come out to vie for positions, they make it look as if they are there for the interest of the athletes. They want to serve, they want to do everything. But at the long run, when you look at the root of all this issue, it first of all stemmed from the money that was mistakenly paid into their account, that at the end of the day, the sports minister had to facilitate, the return of that money. And when people call for explanations how some certain money, was being spent or developed wings, it suddenly becomes interference, And if the AFN now, they are saying they want to be autonomous, they want to be independent. For me, a lot of people will say, is that not what we've been preaching about? Is that not what we want? But when it comes to requesting for money, logistics, will they remember that they are independent? But when you look at the whole scenario, I think it's a shame. Solomon Ogba resigned. It was rejected. We are having parallel meetings in Abuja. We are having in Oka. The ministry is dancing a different tone. Sunday Dare too is doing so much talking on the social media, and I think this is not what our sports in general need. I think is looking like a situation that the sports minister is chewing, is biting off more than what he can chew and swallow, and it's a shame that we are now going back to what the NFF experienced while Dalong was there.
Okay, Tony, you've been a member of the NOC, you are a seasoned journalist, you know how these things work. What is the root of all this crisis? Can you educate our viewers?
Yeah, George, I think the root of everything is about money.
Why is it that everything that has to do with Nigerian sports will be about money?
And just like they say, the root of money is the root of all evil.
Or the love of money is the root of all evil. Yes, the love of money.
The love of money absolutely is at the center of all this. Because unfortunately, George, we have not learned from history. What it shows is that we are equally going back to what happened when the former sports minister, Solomon Dalong, was in charge. The same thing that is playing out was the same thing that played out in basketball. Absolutely the same thing that played out. The ministry backing one faction of the MBBF, and then the other MBBF, headed by Omar, who had his facts on his fingers, and of course was so meticulous that up till today, George, that he's still holding basketball in Nigeria to the juggler, because you cannot fault him. George, I think that's exactly why I say that we're not learning from history. We're not learning from history because we are talking about athletics. If athletics, which is the heavyweight, athletics is the head and crown of Nigeria's participation in the Olympics. And this is
and we're heading into the Olympics.
George, we are heading into the Olympics, and of course there is fire in athletics. Then it shows that Nigeria has not learned anything. I think the Ministry of Youth and Sports should be seen, as trying as much as possible to settle and not taking position. That's the way I'd say it.
Well, unfortunately, they've taken position. The George faction has been recognized.
George, they have taken position, and they are taking position.
And where would this leave us, Tony?
What? Sorry?
Where would this leave us?
It will leave us in tatters, George. It will definitely affect us negatively. There is no how. We have seen that the Olamide George, which is recognized by the minister, and of course some other people like Brown Ebewele, Cone, Rosa Collins, so many of them, who are recognized. And of course, if you look at the other side, George, you see it too.
The Guzo faction.
You see the Guzo faction, that the Guzo faction, Guzo himself was a former lawmaker, a member of the House of Representatives. It's not as if he's an empty person. He's not an empty vessel. He knows. And you have somebody who we refer to as a legend. Talk about Solomon Ogba. You can't remove the wisdom Solomon Ogba has gathered as former president of Athletics Federation of Nigeria, award-winning commissioner of sports in Delta State.
And told you, it's like 90% of the board members are behind Guzo because they actually heard their meeting in Anambra, while just a few persons who are not board members held their own meeting in Abuja.
George, it is unnecessary.
Okay.
What is playing out is very, very unnecessary.
Yeah.
At a time like this, what we should be is for us to pull our resources together. We should try as much as possible to get everything together. It's not always every time that we see divisions, and divisions do not help anybody.
So
I'm not happy about
the role of the sports ministry in all of this, Tony.
The role of the sports ministry, that's exactly what I'm saying. The role of the sports ministry is not for them to pour fuel on this. The role of the sports ministry is for them to bring everybody together. But I know what the ministry are hampering on is the fact that there is a scandal. They are talking about misappropriation of funds.
Should we condemn that, Oluchi?
Absolutely, George. Before Oluchi comes in, absolutely. No. Nobody can fold his arms and see a scandal, people, misappropriating funds, and you fold their arms. And this minister, the sports minister that we've seen, is somebody that we've said it over and over here, that is a Daniel who has come to judgment. I think he will not fold his arms. But at the same time, he should be wary. He should think of the gains that Nigeria stands to gain at the Olympics, rather than Nigeria to go as a divided house. We are talking about the Guzo faction, George. If you look at the Guzo faction, George, they have already obtained a Puma kit sponsorship, $2.75 million. You may not agree. The other faction may say that may fight about it, but George, they have already made an input. George, the people are already looking forward. They are taking the secretariat out of the national stadium, and of course
they've appointed the director general.
They are talking about independence, and the director general they appointed was a former ministry staff, former director of the ministry, who himself is experienced.
He's knowledgeable.
So, George, we should not just discard them. We should not just say these people are not doing anything, because before you know it, it becomes too late, and Nigeria will become the loser. That's why I'm suing for peace.
For peace. Oluchi, the way these things are going, Nigeria may be hammered by the international athletics body.
Yes, certainly, because when you
over government interference.
Yes, when you look at them, that is that word that they do not really want to hear. They want these federations to be run by the people that are saddled with the responsibility of running it. So as it is now, it is very, very glaring. Apart from internal wranglings, like you also said, the ministry has taken a position and they're in support of a particular faction. And like Toli has mentioned, the role of the ministry is just to act as a mediator and to see how these people will come back together as one, and not take sides. If some some members, of the federation are saying that it was the president, that single-handedly, went for the Puma deal. They were not aware of it. I think it's a question of coming together to talk this over and settle their differences. Like Tony said, at the end of the day, it is the athletes that will wear our colors that will eventually suffer.
Okay, very unfortunate. You can see words of wisdom coming from Tony Ubani. The ministry should equally just play a mediatory role so that at the end of the day, Nigeria will not be the one suffering. We need to be on the same page. If not, IAF hammer will come the way FIFA has always threatened us when government interfere. And it's not good for our sports. The crisis is not helping the drive by even Dare himself to bring this private sector. He met with the Nigerian Economic Summit Group just 2 weeks ago. Now all this crisis. How would the private sector now come to partner to develop Nigerian sports? It's so unfortunate that every time we'll have this crisis and everything revolves around money. Let's take a break. We just hope that something reasonable will be done. When we come back, we'll be rounding up the show. We're going to upcoming events. I hope you enjoy Sportsville. All right, welcome back. We're coasting home now, but let's quickly give you the upcoming events. Let's tell you that from December 11 to 15, the World Badminton Federation World Tour will be taking place in China. Then December 11 to 12, we talk about the UEFA Champions League match day 6. And then December 11 to 22, FIFA Club World Cup will be taking place in Qatar, and Esperance of Tunisia will be flying Africa's flag. We hope they do well in that one. December 12 to 15, the 2019 ITTF World Tour Grand Finals will be coming up in China, and the Men's World Squash Team Championship in United States of America is built for December 15 to 21. We hope you follow all those upcoming events. Well, today, don't forget that Rangers and Enyimba will be on parade. Enyimba will be at home at the Abbas Stadium, while Rangers are up against Al Masry of Egypt. We'll caught up with them, but before then, let me say a big thank you to Oluchi for coming to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. We had a fun-filled week. December 1st was the birthday of the NFF president. 2nd was for Aisha Folade. And on the 3rd of December was that of the FA chairman of Ogun State, Alhaji Ganiu Majekudumi. You know, our program is a weekly program, so it's never late
To congratulate them. December 1, 2, 3, big shots in the football house celebrated their birthday. We say congratulate to Mama Sports. Congratulations to Amaju Pinnick and the Ogun State FA chairman. Tony, thank you for coming to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, and of course, the bigger of all the birthdays coming on December 25th. You know, we're talking about the birthday of our Lord Jesus Christ.
You can say that again. That will be the biggest. We are warming up for Christmas. Well, let's leave you with this interview we had with Rangers and Enyimba ahead of their game today. We wish them the very best of luck. They are flying Nigeria's flag in the CAF Confederations Cup. They started badly. Enyimba lost in Morocco by 2-0, but they are home today, and Rangers couldn't climb the pyramid at home at the Cathedral when they lost by 1-3. But they are up against Al Masry today. 5 p.m. is the kickoff time in Egypt. They spoke ahead of this game. Enjoy it. It's another exclusive from Sportsville. We'll leave you with it. See you next week. Bye-bye and God bless.
Football always come this way. We lost our first match, but I think we still have 5 more matches to go. And it's good that things like that happen at the first match, so it's like a wake-up call. I think we play a little bit below par, so I don't know why, but we have to go back and sit with the technical crew and figure out how we can improve in the next 5 matches that are coming.
Yeah, we're always positive. That's my belief. Anywhere you can win, anywhere. When you do the right thing in the field of play. So we are going to Egypt to play 11 players at a time, not the whole Egypt. So I think if we do the right thing in the field of play, we can still win.